Hey, yo! What up? I haven't been on social media in a while, and I just wanted to reach out to everyone and say hello and talk about how in recovery, even at, what am I at now? Coming up to 22 months clean and sober, and there's still stuff that I learn about myself every day. It's not only just the substance that was my issue. It's character defects and my thought process and my impulsivity. Those things can get me right back to almost the same place my addiction. And when you're not using a substance, your mind seems to crave that dopamine, and it'll look in the weirdest places, and it will creep into your life unknowingly. And you'll do things that you probably wouldn't do in a normal circumstance. And that's where your awareness has to come into effect. You have to be able to be self-aware and open and able to listen to criticism and all those things that go on in our lives. And it's hard. It's fucking hard, man. It is legitimately one of those things where I think I'm the shit all the time. My ego gets in the way, and it's just not true. I have so much more to learn. I have so much more work to do, and that's the cool thing. I get to work on those things, and I get to try to improve myself every day. And there are days, the bad days where my addiction creeps back in and I feel like I need to numb and I want to just escape from my reality. But I know that it's going to be so much worse if I do that. I'm going to lose everything. And I'll be back to square one. And those are the things that kind of keep me sober, is the accountability of being so loud with my recovery and letting everybody know that I'm clean and sober. It's not something I hide, because I need that accountability. If I walked around and people didn't know I was an alcoholic or an addict, it would be that much easier for me to just go back to that life. But I've continued to recover loudly, and I fully suggest you do as well. With AA and NA, they practice I can't say it, anonymity, and I think in some aspects that's a good thing, and I think in some aspects it allows people to stay in addiction. I believe your issues and your things are your problems, and you don't have to let everybody know. But if you are comfortable and you are open and you're not afraid of the persecution or the stigma that's behind addiction, you should be loud. You should be proud of your recovery. And I run into people all the time, that you can kind of tell, or you go to the doctor and you tell them, been clean for this long, da 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 da. oh, good for you, you know. They're not going to be able to relate unless they've walked in those shoes before. And that's okay. That's completely fine. And I'm okay with trying to set a positive example. And I like it when people say, well, I never would see you doing something like that. It's like, okay, well, most of the people that you probably know that are in addiction, you wouldn't know they were in addiction because they've done all they can to hide it from everyone. But that's just what I wanted to get on here and share this morning as I drive into work. I wanted to let you know that there's always something to improve on. The substance is just a symptom. There's a lot of other work that goes behind it. It's a behavioral health. We have to adjust our behaviors. We have to adjust our habits. We have to continually work on this. This is a disease. And I know a lot of people don't buy into the disease model of addiction, but if you really look into it, it's a good show that's educational is Pleasures Unwoven. Some other stuff like that goes over how our brains work and how addiction is a disease. And there's no cure. The cure is to stay connected, work a program, and be honest with yourself. And if you fall, all that clean time you had is still there. It doesn't just disappear. So there's no point in falling and staying on the ground. There's no point in sitting in the mud for any longer. If you've relapsed, get your butt up, get yourself to a meeting, get yourself in treatment, whatever you need to get you back to where you were. Because staying in addiction, the damage just grows. We leave a wake of carnage in our lives because we feel like we need to just stay here, and it's hard work to go in and deep dive and find the real issues that's causing this in our use. Alright, I'll quit blabbing on here. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Stay safe. Reach out to me if you need anything. I appreciate y'all. Have a good day.